Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to be tackling how to draw mouths and lips. This video is going to be divided into two separate sections. The first section is going to be showing you where the mouth falls on a face and how to place it with all the other facial features. And the second part of the video is going to be covering the basic shapes of drawing a mouth, including the lips. As always, if you're interested in following my art journey on Instagram and Facebook, you can follow the links down below in the video description. And if you're interested in books, you can check out my website as well for my upcoming book launch in fall 2021. Alright, enough promotion, let us get to the video. We're going to get started with the very first part of the video, which is the placement of a mouth on a face. So how far down should it go? How wide should it be? Well, I'm going to answer these questions by using the Loomis method. So we're going to get started with just drawing a circle, which is kind of like the first step to drawing a head in general. And then we're going to be using these sort of like cross-section lines to divide the circle up and start drawing the overall structure of a head. I have described the Loomis method in some of my older videos that follow this video tutorial series, so if you're interested in checking those out, you can. I will also provide a link down below in the video description. In general, these videos are quite old, so I have improved my drawing technique since then, but the method still holds. So the Loomis method is basically just starting off with a circle or a ball, and it is broken down into 4 equal sections. And based off of these sections or these lines is where you will start with, drawing the nose or the mouth or the eyes, the brows. So it is kind of like a map for the face. And this method works for any angle of the head, which is really, really cool. As you can see in the video, I'm just sort of filling in some of the facial features based off of the lines that I drew. So I did draw the brows, the eyes, I'm sketching in the ears and also the nose. This is extremely rough. A lot of the things do change later on, but the position still sort of holds. As for the mouth, it can be a little bit more complex because it's easy to think that from the nose line to the chin that the mouth comes at the halfway mark, but actually it comes a little bit higher than that. So from the nose line to the chin, you sort of have to kind of section it off again into 3 equal parts. The line in the middle of the mouth where the lips meet, that line is then drawn on the very first line of those 3 equal parts. So I feel like that made no sense, how I just explained that. So I hope that the illustration really provides more kind of a understanding of what I'm trying to say. Or maybe I should just have another coffee. I'm not quite awake yet while recording this, so I do hope what I'm saying makes sense. In any case, if we continue with the placement of the mouth, so a question that I often got while live streaming once upon a time was exactly how wide should the mouth go? Like, how do you know when the mouth stops? I mean, you can kind of understand where it should be, but the corners of the lips, like where should they align to? An easy way to remember is to align the corners of the lips with the pupils of the eyes. And this is how far wide you can kind of sort of judge how large the mouth should actually be. Now, of course, these rules and these sort of lines that I'm talking about, this differs for each type of person that you're drawing, because faces are not the same, they're all unique, and that is awesome and totally fine. So when I'm talking about these sort of like guidelines, it's just sort of a guideline to keep in mind to learn how to structure a head and face and where to position certain things. You could of course just play around and kind of customize a little bit. So maybe the corners of the lips don't necessarily align with the irises, and maybe the mouth falls a little bit lower than it should or a little bit higher. It really depends on the type of character that you're drawing, but these lines do help to figure out exactly where the mouth should be in position, or how it should be in position, and how far down and how far up, or how wide or how narrow. So yeah, I think these guidelines are awesome, and they've definitely helped improve my drawing skill. Okay, before we get to the actual learning how to draw lips with shapes, let us just break this down once more. So here is the face that I drew, and let's just pop up the lines right now to see exactly how it fell all into place. Using the Loomis method, we divided the head up into 4 equal sections. So we have the hairline, we have the brow line, we have the nose line, and we have the chin line. About 1/3 of the way down from the nose line to the chin line is where the mouth should be placed. And then we have the corners of the lips, which roughly align with the pupils of the character. On to part 2, which is drawing actual mouths and lips. How do we basically break this down? Well, again, the answer is breaking it down into shapes. And with drawing lips, the shapes are a little bit more curvy, kind of bubbly in nature a little bit. This can apply for both male and female lips as well. So for this exercise, we're just going to exaggerate the shape a little bit so the mouth will actually be quite voluptuous. The first thing that I end up doing is drawing the heart shape at the very top of the lip. This provides the cupid's bow, and it also provides the direction of where the mouth, like the lines, will go, whether they're facing downwards or maybe it's in a smile. And also if there's maybe an open, like a part between the lips, then I will also draw kind of another circle in the middle, a little bit of an oval shape. And then I will also draw an oval for the bottom lip. Based off of that is where I will understand how far or in which direction the lips will fall, whether they're downwards or, smiling. And I will also start to draw sort of like a curved line to meet the line with the heart shape or the oval shape down below. Again, I hope that made sense. I feel like it didn't when I'm explaining it, but I hope that the illustration that I'm drawing kind of gave you some understanding of what I'm trying to say here. When it comes to drawing the rest of the lips, it all comes down to shading and keeping a very loose wrist, just having fun with it, adding a bit of texture. In general, I don't add too much shading to the lips that I draw on my characters, but you can if you want, because this will add a little bit more depth and show that there's a curvature to the lips that you're drawing. What I'm going to be doing now is to basically use the technique that I just showed you up above and draw a whole bunch of different types of mouths just to show how you can manipulate the shapes to get the sort of expression or the mouth style that you want. To re-emphasize the mouth drawing process, I'm going to list off the steps that I take once more while just drawing a whole bunch of different types of mouths on screen for you. The very first step that I take is to draw the heart shape for the top lip. The second step that I take is to draw the circle for the bottom lip. The third step is to basically figure out sort of the expression. Depending on the expression that I'm doing, the lines where the lips meet will curve a certain way, whether they're curving upwards, whether it's a smirk or maybe a frown, or maybe it's just a neutral kind of mouth. Then I will draw the lips in the line in the center, and the corners of the lips as well, which are usually a little bit more thicker. It's a little bit of a darker line, just to kind of emphasize that it's the corner of the mouth. And again, depending on the type of expression, this can be extremely useful for if your character is smiling, for example. You can just draw to the fact that maybe the lips are curved up a little bit by drawing a darker, thicker shape for the corners of the lips. And then as sort of a last step it's not really the last step. I think it's the second to last step. I will take a darker pencil, something like 3B, and I will emphasize some of the darker parts of the mouth. So where the lips touch in the center is usually a little bit darker, and also the corners of the lips, and also the very bottom of the lip, because there's usually a shadow from the bottom of the lip that kind of curves inwards towards the chin. So just to emphasize that, I will add a little bit more of a darker touch there, and sometimes I will also add a little bit more of a darker line for the middle of the cupid's bow. And as the very last step is to basically just shade. So the shading that I apply to my mouths is always on the top lip and also in the corners of the mouth. I will also shade below the bottom lip, and sometimes if I'm feeling real fancy, I'll shade the bottom lip, but that's kind of rare. It all depends on the type of character that I'm drawing. In this case, with the shading the top lip would usually be the full lip is shaded, and I will use my 3H pencil or H pencil. And then if I want to add extra depth, I will then go back with my 3B pencil and just shade a little bit more of the corners of the top lip just to kind of give a little bit more depth. I will also apply a bit of shading to the corners of the mouth. This will also add emphasis to the expression, especially if your character is smiling or grinning or smirking maybe, then sort of the corners of the lips having a little bit of shade beneath the corners will give the illusion of that expression. And also I will add shade below the bottom lip, which in this case you're not really seeing me do because we don't have a full face. But if you take a look at the example on the left of the actual face, there is shading there to add emphasis to a little bit more depth beneath that mouth area. Another tip that I can provide you is that if you're drawing either a female or male character or whatever type of character that you're drawing, you don't always have to start off with a heart shape as the top lip. You can also do an oval, or you can do maybe just a flat line. If your character doesn't have a prominent upper lip, that is totally fine. You can just manipulate the shape, but as long as you're using a shape at the very top, it will help you sort of understand the direction of where the mouth is curving and or lifting, or even just, you know, provide just a basic shape for the top lip. Alright, so that basically covers the basics of drawing a mouth and lips. I hope that this video did help you, and as always, you can check out my other videos that are part of the series, but just note that they are quite old. Well, a little over a year old, but I feel like my drawing technique has improved a little bit since then, so please no hate, but you can check them out, links down below in the video description, as well as links down below to my social media. As always, I'd like to wish you all a great Sunday, great start to the next week, and keep drawing, never give up, and you guys are awesome. Have a great day, and bye!